Pilates, as always, on this Tuesday lunchtime. Forget what day it is, Tuesday lunchtime, this lovely sunny bright day. So we will get going, and just as always, just let me remind you, just make sure that you do what you can. Don't try and do what you feel uncomfortable doing, what you feel you can't do. Rest any time you need to, and in general, just listen to your body. So as we progress through the weeks, I'm sure you're feeling the benefits, feeling a little bit stronger, and a little bit more big, a little bit taller, better posture, maybe better breathing techniques as well. So all of these things will add up very slowly as we become more used to doing our Pilates sequences. So set yourself up, first of all, heels underneath your knees, underneath your sit bones or your hip bones, so the bony parts of your hips. Just make sure that your feet aren't turned outwards or inwards and you're not looking your knees out. So just that little bit softness in the knees, lots and lots of length in the spine. So just lifting up through the crown of your head. Just let your arms hang long down by your sides. Feel the chest is wide and open, as are the front of your shoulders. And just try not to puff your chest up. So just gently drawing the ribs down towards those hip bones. Bring your pelvis into that neutral position, just as always, with just that little tuck under with the tailbone, that little tip up with your sit bones, and then just settling into that position, that neutral position in between. So from there we can just draw in. So just feel like you're trying to really shorten that space in between your two hips. You're just pulling in there and you're lifting up through your center. So we've got that stability, that support for our spines and our pelvis. So shoulders back and down, think shoulder blades in a V shape down towards the base of your spine. Let's just start very gently to walk through your feet. So just peel your left heel away from the floor. As you drop your left heel down, let your right heel lift. Just those little heel raises. Walking through our feet, just try and stretch the muscles underneath your footprint rather than just lifting and lowering the heel. Feel like you're peeling the heel and the middle of your foot away from the floor, just stretching. So just get a little bit of warmth into our ankles, into our knees, into our hips. Try and keep really nice and balanced across your hips, across your pelvis, and then just release back with the heels down. And slowly, let's turn the palms of your hands to face the wall behind you. As you breathe in, just flex your wrists and then float your arms up towards them. So your fingertips are pointing towards the floor. Now extend your wrists so your fingertips are facing the ceiling. Just pulling through the heels of your hands. Bring your arms back down by your side. Let's go wide. So breathing in, the arms are going to go wide, and then your arms come over your shoulders, your backs of your hands facing inwards, pressing again through the heels of yours, just extending into your wrists as your arms come down by your sides. Flex the wrists, sweep them up. And extend the wrists, sweep the arms down. Let's flex the wrists, sweep the arms wide side, right over your shoulders if you can, just to shoulder height, reaching through the heels of your hands, bring your arms down. Let's add in a balance. So just lift your heels away from the floor, arms come up, and then fingertips come to the ceiling, then pulling through the heels of your hands. We lower the heels and bring your arms back down by your sides. Then go wide to the side and reach your arms along. Every your palms face outwards now, and then again reaching through the heels of your hands. Pull the arms back all the way down by your sides. Shoulder blades slide down towards the base of your spine. Let's do one more each way. Rising up nice and tall. Just keep your heels on the floor if you want to. Otherwise, try and be on the balls of your feet when you come high. Slowly release your heels down. Once more, if it's not comfortable with that movement through your wrists, obviously just keep your arms, wrists nice and soft. And then bring your arms slowly all the way around and down these sides. Let's just reach the arms forward, so they're shoulder width apart, and then just bend the elbows. So bring your arms into that genie position, like a Cossack arms. Just resting your fingertips on opposite elbow. Shoulders down, away from ears. Again, that little bit of softness in your knees. Breathe in. As you breathe out, we're going to rotate from the waist round to the left, like you're putting your left elbow towards the wall behind you. And then breathing in, come back to center and go the other way, twisting from the waist to the right. So just trying to keep your nose in line with the middle of your chest all the while, coming back through center. Shoulder blades sinking down. Just take that twist. Face, ribs, chest go to the side wall, then back in, hips stay forwards, lengthen your spine. So just that rotation through your spine. Keep it really small if you need to. Let's go again once more to the left and once more to the right. That nice twist. Then from there, just let your arms hang long and heavy down by your sides and roll your shoulders. Bring your shoulders forward, slide your shoulder blades back and down. Just need to let somebody else in there. Slide your shoulder blades back and down, long neck, long spine. Breathe in as you breath, sit back and down, long spine. Reach your arms forward, reach your fingertips. Sit in that imaginary low chair behind you. Push into your heels, squeeze your glutes down really nice and tall. And let's go again, sit back and down. Try not to let your knees creep forward over your toes. Reach for, let's stay here. Just open your arms wide, like you're reaching your fingertips to the side walls. Bring your arms back in towards each other, push into your feet and stand nice and tall at the top. Let's go again. Come straight back up if you want to. You don't need to sit too deep. Let's reach wide with the arms. Open the shoulders, open the chest. Pull the arms back in. Squeeze your glutes tight. Push into your heels. Stand nice and tall. Let's do that once more. Sitting down, reaching forwards. A big reach forwards and a big reach wide. And a pulling with the arms and a push into the heels. Stand really nice and tall at the top. Let's take a stretch. Fingertips to ceiling, just look up, imagine there's something on the ceiling and you want to pick it off the ceiling with your fingertips. Stretching away there, look forwards again, just reach your arms wide to side and slowly bring your arms all the way down. Reset your shoulders way away from your ears, breathe in. As you breathe out, we're just going to reach the left fingertips down towards the floor, long arm, and your right elbow pulls up towards the ceiling. Long arms down by your side, long both sides of your waist. Let's go the other way. Left elbow pulls up, right arm reaches down, like you're trying to get your fingertips down towards the floor. Let's go right at the other side. So make sure you're pressing evenly into both of your feet, so you've got that stability underneath your footprint. And try not to lean forwards or backwards, that lovely stretch. Keep it small if you need to. Let's do one more of those each side. So we should be feeling really warm in our spine now. We've moved it nearly every which way. We've got a little bit more to do. And then just lengthen both of your arms down by your sides. Again, just that little shoulder roll, just release off around your shoulders. So let's go to the end of the mat now. So you've got the length of mat in front of you. Heels underneath your hips again. Again, just finding that little bit of softness in your knees. Lots of support through legs. We're going forwards and down this time. Keep it small if you need to. Breathe in as you breath, chin towards your chest. Slowly, let's come down. So releasing your vertebrae one at a time. Come halfway down if you want to stop there, go all the way down. You might want to bend your knees or put your hands on your thighs. Otherwise, we should more or less be looking at our knees in this position here. And just let your arms just hang long and loose from your shoulders and just a gentle shake of your head and nod your head. Just make sure you're not holding any tension in the back of your neck. Bend your knees, slowly come up, straighten your legs if you can. Let's slowly restack our spine. So again, it's one vertebrae at a time, stacking on top of the one beneath it. Let's go breathing, let's go down again. But remember, keep your legs big bend in the knees if you've got back issues, and just maybe go halfway down. Top of the head towards the floor. Coming down as deep into that forward fold as you can, so your chest is maybe facing your thighs, nose is facing your knees. Slowly come back up, all the while you're pulling your navel in towards your spine. That's going to look after your back. Stand really nice and tall at the top. Let's take another stretch. Reach your fingertips to the ceiling, look up, stretch away, and then slide your shoulder blades wide, wide and down. Pull them down towards your hips as your arms come by your sides. Coming down again, nice and slowly. We're not coming up again this time. We're not for the time being. Bend your knees. Put the hands on the inside edges of your mat and walk out. Maybe 3 hand places forward. Align your hands so they're parallel, and then drop your knees down onto the floor underneath your hips. We're going to do some press-ups today, as long as you feel okay doing press-ups. So we need to make sure the wrists are in line with our shoulders. We're going to take the hands a little bit wider than our mat, or wider than our shoulders. You've got a nice wide stance in between your hands. Spread your fingers a little bit if you need to, just make sure the weight's even across your handprint. So keep your spine long, your neck long, and keep that scooping in through your center, so pulling in your through your abdominals. So from here, breathing in, we're going to bend the elbows, so your chest is going to lower down towards the floor in between your hands. So you'll press up. Exhaling, pushing away into your hands. Come out of your press up. Keep your hands exactly where they are, but just pull your sit bones back towards your heels. Take a stretch there. Tuck your tailbone under a little bit. And then just maybe pull into your hands, press into your knees. Let's come back. So your shoulders are back in line with your wrists. Keep your spine and your neck long. Breathing in, down we go again. Bend the elbows, bring your chest in between your hands. Keep your neck and spine long. Exhale, really feel like you try to push the floor away as you come out of that press up. Then again, just pull back. Just maybe take a little pressure out of your wrist. So your belly comes towards your thighs, tuck the tail under a little bit. Let's just do that once more. Slide your shoulder blades down, neutral shoulders, long neck, long spine. One more, bending the elbows. Your head should come forward with your hands here. And then really make sure you're really pushing away into your hands as we square up again. And then from there, just put your hands right underneath your shoulders. So you're in that normal stance with your arms, nice and square. Breathe in as you breath. Let's tuck the tailbone under. Let's stretch our spines now in your cat stretch. Tuck your tail, tuck your chin over to spine. Soften into your elbows. Just pull the shoulder blades wide across your back. Breathing in, let's go into our cow pose. So stretching our spine out the other way. So your spine dips, sit bones up, and your chest and your eye gaze are forwards. Then from there, just sit on your heels. So quite a lot of weight bearing through your upper body there, which is good. We're strengthening the upper body, strengthening our muscles, our bones as well, weight bearing. Just do a few little shoulder rolls and maybe just circle your wrists, a few circles one way and then the other way. You might just want to just wiggle out your fingers a little bit there too. So now the next move we're going to do is prone. So walk your hands forward, just drop your forearms onto the floor, walk your knees back so we're coming down safely all the way onto our front. So just take your time to release your whole of your body onto the floor. And then we're going to make that little pillow with our hands. So stack your hands and then just lower your forehead down onto your hands and keep your neck really long. So your nose should be pointing down towards the floor. Elbows are just a little bit lower than the level of your hands. So you've almost got a diamond shape in between your arms here. So we can pull the shoulder blades back and down. Stretching the legs long behind you, just making sure the legs are in that same alignment as when we're standing. So your heels are aligned with your knees and your sit bones. And somebody just put a little pocket of air underneath your belly button, a little air bag. So you just got to scoop your tummy away from the mat. So your tummy's lifted away from the mat. And then just try and find that length in that very lower part of your spine. So that lumbar part of your spine. So just reach your tailbone towards your heels behind you. So you've got a really good supported posture lying down. So let's take it nice and gently. Breathe in. As you breathe out, we're just going to lift the head and the chest is going to slowly float away from the floor. Just keep your ribs down. We're not trying to come up too high, we're thinking length. And breathing in, slowly coming back down again. So your forehead just rests very lightly on the backs of your hands. Coming up again, exhaling, reach the top of your head forwards, the back of your head lifts up towards the ceiling, but not too high. And then lower back down. So your arms are light as a feather on the mat. Just imagine just resting your arms on a cloud. So try not to press into the arms. You're using the muscles in your back, your spine, your shoulders, and keep your tummy pulling it as well. So quite a lot to think about. But we're not trying to press into the arms to get that lift. We're trying to re-strengthen our back shoulder muscles coming back up. So these are the muscles that really give you good posture. To strengthen these muscles is going to be good for improving our posture. So if you're feeling super strong today, we're going to glue our foreheads to the backs of our hands. So as you lift your head, your arms just lift away from the floor. Keep your elbows wide and try and keep your shoulder blades drawing down. Breathing in slowly, really lightly. Let your arms rest down on the floor. Let your shoulders just release a little bit as you come down. And then lift again. So just reaching again through the top of your head. Just keep your head stuck on your hands. And then let's do that a couple more times if you can. And maybe we can do that once more. So you can just lengthen a little bit more. No pinching in your lower back at all. Lower your arms down and release your chest and relax your arms, your shoulders, your chest. Keep the tummy pulling in away from it. Let's just go down the body. Let's just do a little bit of extension in our legs, working from the hips downwards now. Breathe in. As you breathe out, just lengthen your right leg and then lift the right leg away from where your hip is grounded. Your knee comes up, but your knee doesn't bend. Squeeze your glute tight. Lower the leg back down. Heel stays in line with your tailbone. Left leg, lengthen it first, reach for your toes, lift the leg away from the floor. Again, we're not lifting high, we're trying to lengthen the leg long out of your hip. So try not to tense up your upper body, squeeze your bottom tight as you lift and lower your leg. And let's do one more with the left leg. Just try not to switch on your upper body now, that's done its work for now. Maybe if you can, going to be super strong, lift both of the legs away from the floor, so your legs stay hip width apart, the knees come off, but they don't bend. And then very lightly put them back down on the floor. Leg lift still scooping in, just press your pelvic bone down into the floor to keep your lower back open. Let's do that twice more. So lengthening, strengthening all the way down the back of the body from your hips all the way down to your toes, front of the legs, back of the legs, glutes. And then release your legs all the way down onto the floor. All we're going to do now is we're just going to float the feet away from the floor so your heels come over your knees, and then just gently windspring wipe your legs from side to side. So just gently releasing off. This should allow us to switch off our glutes, our legs, our hips just a little bit there. And then toes to ceiling, then lengthen your legs back down onto the mat. Pop your hands right underneath your shoulders. Let's push ourselves up onto our hands and knees. Just round your spine a little bit, and then again, just pull your sit bones back towards your heels, just like we did before. Get your arms where they are, slide them in a little bit if you want to rest your forearms on the floor, and you can even rest your crown of your head on the floor as well if you want to, in your sort of modified child's pose there. Just again, that little gentle release and stretch. So then let's come up onto our hands and knees, and let's walk towards the bottom end of your mat. Swing your legs round to one side gently and in front of you. So coming to seated, sitting really nice and tall. So we're going to do some work through our shoulders and our spine inflection. So just making sure that we've got a really good seated posture before we start. Maybe just pop your hands behind your thighs. Just gently press your hands into your thighs and just feel like you're trying to lift again the top of your head up towards the ceiling, next in line with your spine. Roll your shoulders, slide your shoulder blades back and down. Pull in through your center, and then let's reach our arms forward. So arms are shoulder width, shoulder height. As you breathe in, just keep your spine really still. Just reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Circle your arms wide to the side and draw them back in again, so they're shoulder width apart again. Breathe in as you breath. This time, just keep your arms where they are. Tuck your tailbone around your spine, navel to spine, just rolling back off your pelvis. Breathe in as you breathe, just reaching the arms forward, come back up and sit really tall at the top with your spine long. Let's just lift the arms up, fingertips to ceiling, fingertips to the side walls, arms come forward. Then keep your arms still, we're going to roll back. Breathe in, hold that C curve in your spine, deep connection to your center. Let's come back up on your exhale. Let's put those two together now. Breathe in as you breath, tuck your tailbone, just roll off your pelvis. Stay here if you can. Let's reach the arms up towards the ceiling, reach them wide to the side, pull them forwards where they were at the beginning, and then slowly come all the way up. So you've done that same movement through your shoulders when you're in your seeker, when you're just in that half roll back. So roll back or sit tall, stay sitting tall if you don't want to roll back. Arms come up. Arms come wide, arms reach forward, and then coming back up. Let's do that twice more. Rolling back, scooping in, shoulder blades stay wide, arms come up. Don't need to take them all the way up as high as I have if they don't reach that far. Arms come wide and they come in. Use your exhale, come back up, sit tall. Let's just do that once more. So we're building our core strength. We're getting lots of mobility through our upper body, arms, shoulders, chest. And then come back up. Let's sit really tall at the top. Just take a stretch. Let's slide our legs away. If you can, lengthen your legs. Keep a bend in the knees if you need to. Just reach your toes up towards the ceiling, pushing through your heels. Lift your arms up over your shoulders again. And this time, go fold forward. So reach your hands towards your feet. Bend the knees. If that pinches in your lower back at all, bend your knees. Just take a little bit of load off your spine. Otherwise, keep your legs straight if you can. And again, we're just reaching through the top of your head. Pull the tummy in, pull your hips back as we keep that forward stretch. Then breathe in. As you breathe out, keep your arms in line with your ears. Unfold yourself so your fingertips come up towards the ceiling again, arms high, and then reach your arms wide to the side again and reach them forwards. And then roll all the way down this time, but you might want to put your hands on the floor for support if you feeling you're going to struggle coming down. So try not to collapse. Go really, really slowly, just imprinting your spine down onto the mat. Once your head meets the floor, we can take the arms all the way to the floor behind you. And then point your toes now and just take that really lovely full body stretch. So just reaching away, fingertips and toes, and just breathe. So we're trying to be as long as we can be here, opening up the shoulders, the chest, the hips, the ankles to the ceiling. Reach your arms wide to the side and let our arms settle and just rest them lightly on the mat, down by your sides. And then slide your feet in one at a time. So this is where we find that semi-supine lying down position. So here, if you want to put your head on a cushion, folded up towel, Pilates block, put that underneath your head now. You might not need one. If you keep the back of your neck open, no pinching, just make sure the back of your head's really resting on the mat. Your chin slightly tucked in, and then widen your shoulder blades across the back on the mat. Bring your pelvis into that neutral position. So if you remember, we just do that little tip and tilt. So press your lower back into the floor, arch it away. Yeah, and then just find that position in between. So you're really flat across your pelvis, your hip bones, your pelvic bone, your belly button, almost parallel to the floor there. And then pull in that. So that sensation again of pulling in and lifting up. So you've got lots of support again for your spine and your pelvis. So from there, let us float our arms up towards the ceiling, fingertips to ceiling, arms shoulder width apart, and just sink your shoulder blades down into your mat so your shoulder blades are still wide across your back. So we're going to do opposite arm, opposite leg. So take an in-breath to prepare. As you breathe out, just lift your left foot off the floor, bring your left knee over your hip to a tabletop, and at the same time, just take your right arm back towards the floor behind you in line with your ear. Slowly put your foot back down on the floor it came from as you bring your arm back right up over your shoulder. Left foot lifts off the floor, right foot, left arm goes back. So keep the shape of your leg the same all the while. And bring the arm back up over your shoulder as your foot lightly comes back down on the floor. So just alternating, keep the lower back on the mat all the time, so don't allow it to lift. So that just hinge from your hip, hinge from your shoulder, arm is long and straight, knee is bent. So nice and smooth, keep everything else really still. So hopefully nothing too challenging here. You could just lift and lower one foot off the floor at a time. Just have your arms by your side or keep your feet on the floor and just take one arm back towards the floor behind you at a time if you wanted to. But it's got that little combination, so upper body and lower body, just working a little bit here. Keeping that stillness everywhere else. So really focus on that work coming through those lower abdominals. So you're really switching them on to lift and lower your foot. And just that gentle mobility through your shoulder. Arm up, foot down. Let's do one more with your right foot. Knee over your hip, left arm goes back, foot comes down, arms up over your shoulders. Let's take a little bit of stretch to our upper body. Take your arms back towards the floor behind you. Sweep your arms wide to the side and just slowly and gently bring your arms in. And then they're just going to rest lightly on the mat down by your sides first of all. Then we're going to do a little bit more focus, bring the focus a little bit more up the body to our upper abs. So settle your hips and your shoulders. Everything should be where we left it, hopefully, but reset if you need to. Interlace your fingers, head comes off the floor, hands come behind your head, elbows stay wide as we put the head back down on the mat. So you can just see the tips of your elbows out of the corners of your eyes. Try and make sure both sides of your waist stay long. And when we do our curl-ups, try not to let your tailbone tuck under, so keep nice and still from the waist down. So when you're ready, breathe in. As you breathe out, we're just going to slowly lift the head, and then the shoulders are going to peel away from us. So just looking just over your knees here if you can, and breathing in slowly, coming back down again. And exhale, curl up, scoop in, waist stays long. That space between your chin and your chest stays the same all the while. So you just got that little soft root just tucked underneath your chin. So we don't want to squash it, nor do we want to lose it. So keep going with this if you can. Let's do 2 more. Keep your shoulders wide. Keep your waist long. Keep that breath. Remember your breath. We're breathing into the sides of your ribcage, not into your belly, otherwise your belly's going to push outwards and we won't be supporting our spines. And let's just do that once more, and you can stay with this or you can take a rest if you want to. Let's just add in. So next time you curl up, we're just going to extend the left leg towards the bottom end. So just look towards the toes of your left foot. Bend the knee, put your foot back down where it came from. Stretch your right leg away, look towards your right toes as you lift up. Bend the knee, put your foot back down. So just that leg extension as we curl up, or just keep your head and shoulders down and just extend alternate legs away, or keep your feet flat on the floor and just do your curl up. So remember, we always have options here. Let's do another one each side. And last time, your right leg will reach it away, foot comes in, head and shoulders come down. Just slide your hands from underneath your head. Again, your fingertips reach long behind you. Let's circle the arms wide to the side and let your arms settle lightly on the mat down by your sides, okay? So from here, let's work the back of the body in our bridge. Let's do that next. So slide your heels in just a little bit closer to your sit bones, still finding that line with your heels, your knees and your hip bones. And then just have your arms hovering off the mat, your palms are facing down, and just reaching your fingertips towards the bottom end of the mat. So then we're going to breathe, and we're just going to take the arms up towards them. Keep them here if you want to. If you can, take them towards the floor behind you. So the palms of your hands are facing the ceiling. So we're going to come into our bridge, so peeling our spines away from that. At the same time as you come into your bridge, we're going to pull the arms up and over here. So off we go, breathe in. As you press into it, squeeze your glutes, tuck your tail under first, or lengthen your tail, and slowly, as you peel your spine away, but you're going to pull your arms up towards the ceiling, and then press them down towards the floor, so your fingertips are reaching the bottom end of the mat with your hips up. Breathe in as you breathe out slowly, release your spine back down onto the mat. At the same time, your arms are slowly reaching up towards the ceiling. Just as your hips settle back down on the floor, your arms are back in line with your ears behind you. Or they might just have stopped there, of course, if you don't want to take them all the way back. Or you might just want to keep them all the way down by your sides and not move through the shoulders at all. And when we're moving the spine, you're squeezing your glutes really tight. We're breathing out when the spine's moving. Release your glutes and breathe in when you're not moving your spine. Let's go again. Push into your feet, keep your tail long, tuck your tail under, press down with the arms. So lots of activity, arms, shoulders, chest, as well as all the way down the back of your body. So it's a nice flowing movement with the arms and with the spine. Shall we do that twice more? So it's really good for, again, strengthening the back of the body, working into your glutes, focusing on your hamstrings as well. So the back of the legs should be really firing up. Let's do that once more. Peel away, lift the hips, keep level across your hips all the while. And so last time, your arms are going to go back as you reach your spine down onto the mat. And then again, just circle your arms wide to the side and just allow your arms to settle lightly. Just rest them on the mat down by your sides. So let's reset. Let's focus a little bit more, going back into a little bit more work through your upper body. So again, we're going to add in a few little chest curls here. So let's have the arms by your sides, palms facing inwards, thumbs to ceiling. As you breathe in, just sweep your arms up and behind you, so your palms face inwards. And as you breathe out, turn your palms outwards, press through your hands and pull the arms in towards your hips. Just nice big sweeping arm circles. Inhaling, the arms go back. Exhaling, the arms sweep round and in. And just do that a couple more times. So upper body like resistance, resisting as you pull your arms wide and in. So opening up the shoulders and the chest. Everything else is still, except for your ribs. You're breathing into your sides of your ribcage. So that expansion of your ribs as you take that in-breath. Let's bring the arms down by your sides. Now, if you're feeling super strong, let's do that with our feet off the floor. So just bring your knees over your hips, heels in line with your knees. So just feel like your thigh bones are just sinking into your hip sockets. Really feel that work in those lower muscles in your abdominals there. So brilliant, they should be really switched on here. And let's just do another arm circle, breathing in and breathing out. So don't move your legs, they're just static, they're staying there, but they're really making your core work here. So the weight of your knees over your hips, keeping everything really still. So we can stay with that if you want to. Put your feet down if you want to. One more last little bit, which you might want to add in. So as you breathe out and circle your arms wide, so just like we did before, peel your head and shoulders off the mat. Look in between your thighs, so you'll reach your fingertips towards the bottom end of the mat. As your arms go up towards the ceiling, just let your head and shoulders come down on the floor. Your arms are in line with your ears behind you. Sweeping your arms wide side, keep that space in between your chin and your chest again. Look in between your thighs, arms are just in line with your hips. Release your shoulders and your head, arms go back. So this is quite challenging. Put your feet on the floor and do your curl-ups and your arm circles with your feet down if you want to. So as always, we're scooping in through our center. Try not to push your tummy outwards. Let's do that twice more. Reach wide, pull in. Look in between your thighs if you can, or maybe if you're not lifting, so you'll be looking at the tops of your knees again. Last time, lots of work for the upper body and your lower. And then take your arms back, circle your arms wide to the side with your head and shoulders down. Just put your hands on top of your knees. Bring the thighs in towards your chest or knees to chest. And just take that release, that gentle little rock from side to side. So you should feel your spines on the mat. And it's just like a very little bit of a gentle self-massage. And then if you want to just turn your head from side to side, if you feel you've got tension in the neck, just a very little gentle head rolls just to release off as well. So then from there, let's put our feet back down on the floor. So a little bit different this time, still working shoulders, hips, core definitely, always focus on core, whatever we're doing in our Pilates, that is our focus, using those core muscles like your powerhouse, which moving all comes from your center, supporting the rest of our body really. So let's take the arms up over our shoulders again. Again, make sure that your pelvis is in that neutral position again. When you've lifted your arms, make sure that you didn't allow your shoulder blades to peel off the mat. So we're going to go opposite arm, opposite leg again. We're going to go wide to the side. This time instead of back, we're going wide with the knee and the arm. So let's start with the left knee and the right arm. As you breathe in, you're just going to allow your left knee to drop away to the side and your right arm is going wide to the side in line with your chest, just coming onto the outside of your left foot. Try not to take your right arm all the way to the floor. Then exhaling, pull the arm back over your shoulder as your knee comes back in to face the ceiling. Inhaling, your right knee is going to fall away, just opening up the hips sideways. Your left arm goes wide, but not all the way to the floor, just in line with your chest and hovering off of it. Exhaling, fingertips to ceiling as you pull your knee back in. And let's go again, left knee. So you don't need to let the knee drop too far towards the floor, maybe just halfway. All the while, the opposite hip stays glued to the floor. Exhale, pull the arm over your shoulder, the knee faces the ceiling. Left arm, right knee, so go really slowly. Exhale, actively pull the arm up, pull the knee back in. Let's do one more of those each time. Remember to keep the breath, your lateral breathing going, breathing into the sides of your ribcage, but breathing into the back as well, rather than into your belly. And let's just do a little bit more. Let's just make those doubles. So as you breathe in, your arms are going to reach wide away from each other and your knees are going to drift away from each other. And exhaling, pull the arms back over your shoulders. Legs come in, hip width apart. Let's just do that 3 more times. So again, we've done quite a lot of mobility through our shoulders and our hips as well today. Always good. but rest if you need. Just twice more. Breathe in, the arms and the knees fall away. Exhale, pull in. And let's do that once more. And then pull the arms back over your shoulders and knees draw in towards each other. Keep your feet flat on the floor. Reach your arms along behind you. Just reach away through your fingertips. Sweep your arms wide to the side. And then let's just pull the arms in. And then again, just set your arms lightly on the mat down by your sides. Let's go back to mobility around your hips. I'm going to do our leg circles today, but I'm going to give you options. So square up your pelvis, your hips, shoulders, long neck, finding that neutral, nice supported posture for your body. Your knees and your legs are in alignment. And then let's bring the right foot off the floor. And then if you can, let's extend the right leg up towards the ceiling today. So for your one leg circles, try and keep a straight leg. If that's not for you at all, just bend your knee, so your knees over your hip. We're going to do knee circles instead. I think we've done knee circles a couple of times recently, so just moving on from that, just a little bit more challenging with a long straight leg. So your toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. Just let your arms settle lightly on the mat down by your sides. The aim here is to keep our hips, our pelvis and our spines completely still, so just rotating the thigh bone around your hip socket. So we're going to try and do 8 each way. Breathe in. As you breathe out, you've got an imaginary pencil on your right toes. We're going to draw a circle on that ceiling with that pencil. So breathing out and then breathing in. So that should be one circle. Let's go really slowly. So smooth around the circles. Just imagine there's that plate again stuck on the ceiling. And you're just taking that pencil, which is on your toes, all the way around the outer edge of that plate. It might be a saucer, it might be really small. So just making sure that the circles aren't so big that you're rocking through your hips. They stay really still. Chest, shoulders, arms, they're relaxed. All the support again is coming through those core muscles, and keep pulling in and lifting them up. And let's keep going. Remember, we can do this instead with the knee bent. It becomes quite challenging, keep the legs straight all the time. Let's do one more in that first direction. Go, finish that complete circle, and let's go the other way. Unwinding those circles. Try and make sure your left foot is light as a feather on the mat, and your left knee isn't wandering from side to side. And don't rush. So try not to go any faster than I am. And you don't need to do 8 each way. You can do as many as you feel you can. Once you feel like you're losing that precision of your movement, just hug your knee. And we're nearly there. Let's do one more. And that should hopefully, I'm not very good at counting, but hopefully that should be 8 each way. It's only because I talk so much, I lose my my train of thought when I count. But I think that was 8 each way. You can probably count better than I when you count yourself. So with your thigh coming into your chest, just circle your ankle, a few circles on the other. That should feel quite nice, that release around your foot. Put your right foot on the floor, make sure it's right next to your left foot, so you've got that really good alignment. Arms just spread like you're on the mat down both sides. Let's do the other leg. So make sure you've got that support through your center, and then lift your left knee up and extend your left toes up towards the mat. Nice stretch through your toes. Or we're here. Remember, you can bend the knee anytime you want to. Then that plate stuck on the ceiling, you've got that pencil on your toes. Breathe in as you breath. Let's start to draw all the way around that outer edge of that plate with that pencil. So those circles might be smaller one side than the other, or they might be bigger depending on the mobility, how free you feel around your hip. You might have a little bit more tightness in one hip than the other. So the more we practice these sort of exercises, hopefully we can really get to build up a balance both sides of the body, so both sides of the body become equally strong, equally mobile, equally fluid. 3 more that way, if I'm right. Try not to press into your right foot. And again, that right knee, don't let it fall away or inwards. So when you've done your first set of 8 or less, if you want to, unwind your circles. Remember, always reduce the length of your leg, and it will just make it a little bit easier if you want to. Otherwise, just keep going in that second direction. So lots of length in your legs. So you've got a weight of your legs sinking right into your hip. So really strengthening those supportive muscles. Let's do one more. And then we can bend the left knee. Hug the knee in nice and close. Thigh comes in towards your chest. And then just circle your ankle. A few circles one way and then the other way. Good. Then let's put our feet back down on. Let's finish as we quite often do. Just really, it's a nice release for our hips. So our hip rolls. So with your feet flat on the floor, keep it nice and low key today. Feet flat on the floor. Pin your knees together, the inside of your knees and the inside of your ankle bones. They're just glued together. Take your arms a little bit wider than your mat. Palms face the ceiling so we can really sink the shoulders and the arms into the floor, keeping your neck long. Just tuck your tailbone under a little bit. Make sure your lower back's lengthened on the mat. And then from here, as you breathe in, let's just drop the knees over to the left and turn your head to the right. So your right sit bone or hip's going to lift off the floor. As you exhale, pull the knees back in using your waist. Feet go flat on the floor. Look at the ceiling. Go the other way, knees drop over to the right. So your top foot should be right off the floor here because your ankle bones are still glued together. And then breathing out, actively pull the knees back in to face the ceiling, your feet go flat on the floor. So your knees go one way, your head turns over. So just get that gentle twist in your spine. Keep it really small. Any pinching in your lower back, keep it really small, or even just rest by hugging your knees in. It shouldn't feel uncomfortable. It should feel like a nice stretch, really, as we just and a release of the hips and the glutes, as we just roll our hips gently from side to side across the mat. Some of you, of course, will get your knees further towards the floor than others, but don't force it. It's just a nice, gentle, rolling movement. Let's do a couple more each way. And last time. And then just bring your knees back up. Again, they're going to face the ceiling. Then from there, just lift your left foot off the floor. And let's pop the hands on top of your left knee or behind your left thigh if you prefer. Again, just hug that left knee. But as you hug the knee in, extend your right leg away. So you're just reaching your toes right towards the bottom end of the mat. So get a really good stretch into the glutes here. So extending your right leg long. And just breathe as you hold that stretch. Maybe we can stretch our hamstrings while we're here, so that right leg stays where it is, and extend your left leg. So you've got, the left leg, same leg, just slide your hands up the back of the leg. Try not to hang on behind your knee. Maybe your behind your thigh, maybe behind your calf. If you want to bend your right foot, knee and put your right foot on the floor, do so. Let's keep it long. Just gently pull the left leg in. You can bend your knee a little bit if you need to. Just gently pull that left leg in towards you, just till you feel the stretch into your hamstring, down the back of your leg. And then just bend your right knee, put your right foot on the floor, bring your left foot next to your right foot. Let's hug the right knee in. So nice stretch into the hips, into the glutes. Hug your knee in. And then as we did before, only if you want to, keep your left foot on the floor, stretch it away if you can, or just stretch it on and rest it on the mat. Hover it if you can. So just, if you can hover your left leg off, might just get a little bit more length as we reach out of our hip. So that one's hugging in close, the other legs reaching away long. Keep your left leg where it is, or bend the knee and put your foot on the floor for your hamstring stretch. Hands behind the thigh. Maybe we can slide the hands further up the back of the leg, as long as you're not hanging behind your knee. No pressure on your knee joint. Just gently pull that leg in. So just feel that stretch in the back of the leg. Breathe as you stretch. Not overstretch, don't yank it in. It's just a gentle drawing in. Then bend your left leg. If you put your leg long, put it on the floor, and then put your right foot on the floor next to your left foot. And then just let your knees fall wide, so your soles of the feet just turned in towards each other, and your knees are just dropping wide away from each other. Slide your hands a little bit wide from your mat, then just sink your shoulders and your arms into the floor. Just for a moment, just feel the mat is taking all the weight of your body, so we're just releasing our bodies into the mat. So you might just want to stay here and have a little rest, otherwise come with me. Let's bring the knees in towards each other, one at a time. Lift your feet off the floor, take your hands behind your thighs. We're going to roll up to seated. If you're not comfortable rolling up to seated, just come onto your side like that and push yourself up, otherwise roll yourself up to seated. Let's just do a couple of stretches in our upper body now. So let's take the soles of feet together again with your legs in that butterfly shape. Or if you prefer to just cross your legs, you choose. So your knees are wide apart, so just opening up into your hips a little bit. Long your spine and your neck. Hands just going to rest lightly on the mat down by your sides. Breathe in as you breathe out. Let's take the left arm up and over. Your right hand's on the floor. Just going to bend your right elbow a little bit without letting your left sit bone lift away from the floor. A lovely stretch all the way down your side. Just switch over. Right arm up and bending into your left elbow. Right sit bone stays glued to the floor. Just stretching. Arm comes back down by your side. Breathe in as you rotate. Just circle your arms in front of you. Bring your fingertips together. Your up shoulder blades are wide across your back. Tuck your chin, tuck your tail, navel to spine. Rounding the spine. And as you breathe in, let's build the spine nice and tall. Open the arms wide to the side. Look up at the ceiling, lift your chest, still looking up. Let your arms come over your head. Just bring your palms together over your head, still looking up. And then slowly start to look forwards as you slide your hands down towards your chest, palms towards your breastbone. And then let's just take the fingertips to the ceiling, looking up, reach up. Open your arms really wide, maybe you can spread your fingers, reach your arms wide to the side, slide your shoulder blades down towards the hips as your arms come slowly all the way down by your sides. A big shoulder roll there. You probably want to uncross your legs unless you've done so already, and just give your legs a little bit of a shake out just to release off any tension from your legs and your hips. Well done. Thank you very much for being here joining me today. Stay warm, stay safe, and see you next week, hopefully. So take care.